Thanks for staying with us on News Mobile. I am Gimba Umar, and these are the stories we're tracking at this time. The controversy surrounding the construction of the Calabar-Lagos highway is far from over, at least for most Nigerians. At least 30 kilometers, in not one stretch but in portions, is said to have been done. In this report, Reno Omokri took journalists to personally assess the paved portion of the 30 kilometers out of over 720 kilometers expected to be done at completion of the Lagos to Calabar Expressway.
Recently, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu officially commissioned a 30-kilometer section of the Lagos-Calabar coastal highway, a flagship infrastructure project intended to span approximately 700 kilometers, linking several of Nigeria's coastal states. The highway has been billed as a transformative development expected to boost trade, tourism, and interconnectivity along the southern corridor of the country. Its unveiling has generated widespread public interest, with many seeing it as a step toward modernizing Nigeria's transportation network. However, the move has not gone without controversy. Critics, particularly from the anti-Tinubu movement and supporters of former presidential candidates, have voiced strong opposition to both the nature and the presentation of the project. They argue that the commissioning of just a 30-kilometer segment, a small fraction of the total planned route, is premature and primarily symbolic. According to them, the ceremony served more as a political spectacle than a reflection of tangible development progress. They describe it as a PR stunt, given the overall scope of the 700-kilometer project and the limited progress so far. On the morning of June 10th, Control TV correspondent accompanied Comrade Reno Omokri, the high-energy former presidential spokesperson, on a ground and drone inspection of the recently completed section of the Lagos-Calabar coastal highway. The purpose of the visit was to fact-check claims and dispel misinformation circulating online. Journalists from media outlets such as Vanguard, Premium Times, Arise TV, along with several influencers, joined the tour to independently verify whether at least 30 kilometers of the highway had been fully paved with concrete.
It's at 19.5, and then that's going to be the end because it's over 30 kilometers, but we're actually showing you 30 kilometers today, but it's not a continuous stretch of 30 kilometers. We have here approximately 20 kilometers, exactly 19.5 kilometers, and then between Eleko and Okun axis, there's going to be 17.4 kilometers of just gravel road that it's being settled, it's being stabilized. And then afterwards, from the Eleko end, walking back, there is at least 10.5 kilometers, possibly more, in fact, actually more. The drone captures distance and it's going to be telling you as you're watching it. Can you just describe your zone?
Yes, it's going to be calculating the number of distance in meters. So by the time you get to 1,000 meters, we already know that is 1 kilometer. So it's going to be giving us in meters.
Ahmadu Bello Way, Lagos. Omokri hops into a vehicle equipped with mileage tracking. Omokri highlights their destination, Eleko, right at the border between Lagos and Ogun State. Out of a 55-kilometer stretch under observation, from Ahmadu Bello Way through Lekki Free Trade Zone and back to Okunaja, about 30 kilometers is now fully paved and accessible to commuters.
Now we're going to go all the way to kilometer 19.5 at a stretch, continuous stretch. Now, as you can see, on some parts of the way, work is ongoing, and I believe that these are residential areas. So for those residential areas, they've got to break in some parts of the road, which is what I understand. But then this is the road that we're going. Maybe you can pan on it. We're going directly on this road, 19.5 kilometers continuous. It doesn't stop. However, because of the residences, you see that there are some residential areas, there's going to be some breakages so for the people to pass. It doesn't mean that the road is not continuous. The road is continuous, 19.5 kilometers. Like I said, when we get to 19.5 kilometers, we're going to break up. Olahan is going to go all the way to the Ogun State border to capture the over 10 kilometers from the Eleko end going back to Okunaja. he's going to go to Eleko. He's going to go to Eleko and then capture it. So he's going to go to almost at the border between Lagos and Ogun State and then capture backward from Eleko to Okunaji. So right now we are at Okunaja. Okay, that's the drone. So the drone is a special drone that captures distance. And as I said, all of that video, photographic and documentary evidence will be given to everybody present here.
When flying the drone actually shows me the number of meters. So, which means I can calculate it from the point I'm starting from. If I'm getting 1,000 meters, I already know that is 1 kilometers. And the minimum my drone can go a minimum of 7 kilometers with just one battery. So, me doing it step by step and along the way they've started, so I've been able to calculate it. And I know for certain it's been more than 30 kilometers.
In the meantime, critics like this man carried out independent search of the claims of Mr. Omokri, saying the truth is bare for all to see, not false claims.
Prove it to me that you and Professor Wole Soyinka drove to this point. Where did you pass to drive to this point? From VI to come and show you sat in a cozy car inside convoy and you are claiming that you came to this place to come and snap. How? How did you get here? Look at the road now. Look at this is kilometer 30. They have not even sandfilled up to the required height, let alone of compacting it, and let alone of concrete pavement. In fact, there are some places, if you go further, I will show you. By the time you get to Iwerekun now, you will see behind the palace, they have not even cleared it, let alone of sandfill, let alone of connecting it. So when I say it's disjointed here and there, they skip some places, they sandfill it, they impress themselves. They skip another kilometers, they sandfill it, they impress themselves. From VI to Okunaja, Musirikogo, Mopo 1, Mopo 2, Eko Akete, Iwerekun, Awofin, Odushina, Jegi, Solo Rumija, Solo Alade, Igodo, Debojo, to Eleko. I know this corridor to an extent. Reno, tell me in which village is that kilometer 30?
Omokri engages candidly with journalists. He acknowledges skepticism. People said work had halted, that only 10 kilometers was done. But here, you can see more than 30 kilometers.
People in government should not think that people who raise these objections are enemies of the state, are haters. No, they have a right. A lot of these people are patriotic citizens. When people raise questions like this, it is not possible to over-inform them. You can only under-inform them. It's not possible to over-inform them. You can only under-inform them. So give them the information. Bring them on here. If they insult you, look, under President Jonathan, I was the most insulted human being in Nigeria. Myself, Ruben Abati, and the president. And here I am. I'm 51 years old. I don't think the insults have done too much damage to me. Right? Only it just made my beard white. My older brother has black beards. So other than that, so absorb insults. Yoruba was a Ibo King. For those who don't understand Lukumi, what I just said is that insults don't kill anybody. Insults don't kill anybody. I haven't had breakfast. I haven't eaten anything. I've come here because I want the people of Nigeria to know that this is actually a good project. From the World Bank, what they're saying is that this project alone is going to expand Nigeria's GDP by at least 12%. At least 12%. So what you're going to see is that people can fly into Nigeria from Murtala Mohammed International Airport, and then you have tour guides. We'll just bring them all of this way to enjoy our coastline. They're going to be bringing in money into Nigeria. And then you're going to have people here. Now look at all of these houses. The value of these properties is just going to increase exponentially, and that's adding more to our GDP. So it's a good project. Let us not destroy the government. Let us not tear the government down.
At this point, it seems to suggest that the use of sophisticated drone equipment that calibrates the distance constructed is being pitched against the physical claims made by objective media and online publicists. In the meantime, the Minister of the FCT, Wike, has hit hard on the coalition, saying that the coalition will fail again and again, and that's in politics. He was speaking at the commissioning of arterial roads in Abuja.
They have no choice, and they must watch it for 17 days. And I know they can do. So, sir, Abuja Busa should tell you, please, they are happy that even though you are giving them 10 days, the other ones will be shared by the VP, Senate President, and Speaker. But please help us, so that these people who say they are not happy, their BP will go up. By Friday, we will go to Ampo, 15-kilometer road to Wasa. By Monday, we will be N5 life camp. By Tuesday, I like that. So they won't know what to do. Coalition is bound to fail, and it has failed.